Yo, it's Kin here, Kin F1, SDK221. And as you can see, it's our first ever league race here for the new NASA season on F1 2020, as always.
Alfa Romeo leading
Yeah,
the
so it's our
pits.
first league race of the new NASA season. Season 2 of NASA, I'm pretty sure. I joined halfway through season 1 on a new league. And you can see, I'm just rushing to get out the pits because traffic here is extremely heavy and you don't want to get caught in that. So trying to get being the first person on track instead of flyer. General info for this league: we do play on regular corner cutting with reduced damage, only because this game is like impossible to control damage and it's inconsistent half the time. And you just see here we're trying to just build as much of a gap as possible to the rest of the field, so we can have clean air for our out lap. So our flyer lap is pretty much not going to be the fastest, obviously, because we're the first person on track and we're the first
So
person to lay
everyone
down
is out of
rubber
the pits, right?
for the track. So yeah, you can just hear me there asking if everyone is out the pits because you don't want to be caught in traffic again. Because sometimes
Alright, I'm about to start a flyer, so whoever's
people
on the
get in your
pits,
way
please wait.
and it could be distracting. Yeah, so just announcing. So you have to announce in this league. You have to announce when you're on a flyer and when you're leaving the pit lane, just so anyone on the flyer knows where you're there. So we show the ends of our first flyer on the season. We just set a 20.5, and obviously we're going to be P1 because we're the first person across the line on track. And yeah, wasn't really too happy with that lap. I could have found much more time. If I'm being honest, not really the best lap I've done. PB around here is a 19.3 and a 19.2, and I know I could find time for the 18s, but now as we go into turn 11 and 12, you see we were about 2 and a bit tenths up, and now we just lose all the time after on the exit of the chicane because we went into the grass and just lost all our momentum. But coming towards the last 3 or 4 corners, we gain a lot of time. You can just see how much we can improve by. So right now we're 2 and a bit tenths up, and as we go flat out towards the line, we are gonna set a 20.3, 20.4 basically, and you can just see that we have the potential to get into the low 19s. But yeah, so coming towards the end of
Alfa Romeo on the
quali,
flyer.
we got to mention the format is 50% race with short quali. You could probably tell by the top right corner, short quali. So we're gonna be on board here for our last lap, and I'll go through a rundown on track, getting on the power as soon as possible, and looking on the left-hand side for the 50-meter board, and exiting turn 1, trying to get as a smooth exit as possible. And you see you're about 1.5 tenths up now. As we go into turn 3, you want to just brake as hard as possible, and then short shift into third, and go into fourth here, and then just getting on the power as soon as possible. And you can see we're about 2-3 tenths up, just the first sector alone, and setting a purple first sector. And once again, getting on the power as soon as possible. I do play on the controller. I have no intent in changing to wheel, maybe unless in the future, I get border controller. But yeah, as you can see, now going through sector 2, we lose a bit of time, I think about half a tenth, and we're still, on for a really good lap. And as we come into turn 11 and 12 here, we completely take it flat out and just see how much time we gain. We gain like 3 tenths just along from that one corner. And then coming towards the end, turn 13 or 14, I don't know which one. And, coming back into here, we're about half a second up now. And then coming to the last corner, we go into the grass, lock up, and, wasn't really happy with that, but we do get a good exit on the end. And as we go flat out all the way into the line, it is going to be a 19.8,
You guys.
which is fast enough for pole, but honestly, I could have found much more time. Yeah, and just looking at the results quality, we are about half a second up, and honestly, the only reason I say I'm half a second up is because this track is probably my best track on
Yo,
the game.
hurry
Yeah,
the
it's the
fuck up, dude. We have 13 seconds. Fix
best
it.
track on the game, and then you can just hear me right now talking to my
Alright, well, too
teammate
bad. I guess we're going
because,
to whole race without talking.
yeah, I don't know what happened. Our party audio didn't really work, so we just decided to go the whole race without talking. Normally in this league, you'd be in a party with your teammate, but yeah. So now as we come into the first start of the season, we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and yeah, trying to get a pretty good start. I think we do get a good start, but you know, it could have obviously it's not always perfect all the time. And coming to turn 1, completely missed the apex. I don't even know what I was doing there. And just getting on the power stand as well. You can see there's yellow flags into sector 1, and not already a virtual safety car deployed. So don't even know what to say about that. So yeah, you hear my reactions here. Turn 1 of the season. You can see how much the field is spread out, and if I'm not wrong, I think there's a Mercedes involved, and there's a Ferrari involved, and then then a McLaren involved as well at the same time. And yeah, just turn 1, pretty much a massive crash. And as we come into the end, the virtual safety car did end about halfway through the lap, and now we're just trying to build as much of the gap as possible from limited MCQ, also known as Ray. And you know, we do build a massive gap, and as you know, we get out of the DRS, but you know, anything could happen. And I was just pushing so hard to get out of the DRS range, and we are out of the DRS range now, and we just once again set another fastest lap, just mainly a result from pushing so hard. But now, as you can see, double red sectors, we're probably starting to feel a tire race. Remember, if you do start. If you do qualify top 10, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to start on the tires that you did qualify with. And you know, again, we're having high wear, and we're just setting red sectors again. And this is pretty much how it was. You can see our gap to limited is slowly increasing every lap, and yeah, I mean that's really good. But then again, if I have a spin or if I have a crash or anything can happen. And honestly, I was just so focused right now and just setting laps over and over. And this lap, I think, is going to be a 25.4, which isn't that good, but it's 1 second slower than our fastest lap. And you can pretty much see that we're setting consistent lap times now as you start to feel the tire wear towards the end of the lap. I'm just asking Jeff there if he has any penalties. It's pretty hard to get penalties on this track, especially on regular rules. If you're strict, it'd be a different story. But then again, here, setting again a 25.8. So you could see that we're starting to feel the tire wear, and we're just approaching some back markers here. And my teammate does end up going into the pits. And yeah, Yeah, so I was just talking about mirroring his strategy basically. So if he went on hards, I'd go on hards. If he went on mediums, that means he's committed to a 2-stop. I'd go on softs, or the other way around actually. And yeah, just focusing on the strategy. And as we come towards the end of this lap, you can see our gap dropped a little bit. It went for like 2 seconds a couple laps before, and now it's 1.5. And you see we are heavily feeling the tire wear. And we're pretty much separated from the rest of the field. The second car is 8 seconds down from behind me. But then again, they could easily catch up. And just seeing on the bottom right, pit window is open now. So pretty happy with that. And as we come out of the fast chicane, yeah, I'm telling my pit crew to box this lap just so I can have them ready. And we're actually going to commit to a 2-stop this race. I don't know why I committed to a 2-stop, but yeah, we're committed to a 2-stop. So at the beginning of the race, you probably saw that I did select the 2-stop strategy with the fast running. And there's a yellow flag, and it's a Mercedes that's actually gone off, and just, I don't know if they were trying to get back to the pits or they saw me. But yeah, so as we come into the pits now, we're gonna have to set a really good out lap, and wasn't really didn't really, yeah, like I said, set a good in lap. So in order for me to, you know, gain as much gap as possible. But as we exit the pits now, we're gonna have so much traffic. And I was gonna vouch for the overcut, but honestly, I think the undercut and overcut are about the same effective. It's just the traffic in here because there's a yellow flag in sector 1. I mean turn 1 and turn 2 pretty much. And yeah, I don't know what happened, if they had contact up there or anything. So as we pretty much go into turn 3 now, you could see that there's traffic up ahead, and that's not very optimal for me because yeah, I'm gonna be slowed down, and if I'm on the fresher tires, I should be pretty much setting a fast lap. And now we're just pushing so hard to, not get overcutted by him and get caught in traffic. But at this point, I'm thinking I don't want to push too hard because I might get slowed by traffic. So it was pretty much a lose-lose for me. And so as we head into turn 10, I think it was, and then up into turn 11, we do get into the DRS zone of the car up ahead, which is really good because that means we get extra straight line speed. But then I'm gonna get caught in traffic, and as you can see, I'm just trying so hard to pass him, but I had to think about it. But yeah, so yeah, because I could say better sacrifice, waiting on the straight to overtake rather than actually losing out. And I'm just braking so early because I'm afraid that I'm just gonna ram to the back of him because of how much pressure. And a Ferrari's gone off as well, so that's 2 cars that's gone off at the last 2 corners, twice in a row. And as you can see, looking at the pit exit, you could see that he does get out ahead of me, but I just completely go for it, and I outbrake him, and I go around the outside. There's a really good overtake, and now, I knew he was committed to the 1 stop, because soft to hard is pretty much the strategy around here. I just wanted to attempt the 2 stop in case there was a safety car or anything. And now, I know I need to build a 5-second gap, because if I'm not out of 5 seconds of him, there's a very good chance that I'm not going to make it out of the DRS zone. Well, I'm already out of the DRS zone, but building a 5-second gap, I needed to use my tires extra pace just to get out of the DRS zone and the 5-second gap, because if I'm not, once again, I'd be going on softs at the end of the race, and it's going to be really hard to get past him. You see, just coming up on a bunch of back markers now. We do go past them, and I don't know if they're fighting or not, but I don't know what happened there. So we do get the DRS off of them, and yeah, I think they are fighting. So as we approach turn 1 again, you can just see that we're building a gap slowly over time. It's 3.1 seconds now, and then towards the end of the lap, it's 3.7 seconds, which is pretty good. They're about 6/10 a lap, but then again, I still have to push so hard. And usually, the guy in 3rd place, Mexican Mike we call him, he's on softs, and now he just gets swallowed because he has to pit, and those are his starting tires. And you can see that my teammate is in 4th, and I was really happy when I saw that, because we're going for the Constructors this season, as any teammates would. And yeah, so now we're 4.2 seconds away from the guy in 2nd place, and I just needed to get out of 5 seconds to ensure that I was safe from not getting overtaken, because I knew the softs are really quick around here, but they go off so fast. As you can see now, safety car has been deployed. I didn't celebrate initially, but I'm not really happy with that, because that means I could pit, but I know the softs couldn't go 15 laps or 16 laps on soft tires. That's like pretty much impossible. And you're very susceptible to a puncture. I know we play reduced damage, but a puncture is still pretty much doing it around here. And you can see, just passing up on the crash car now, it's Iron Smoke's
This is the hardest decision of my career.
I don't know what happened to him. So as we come towards the end of the lap, we're pretty much going to pit for hards, because I knew that I was going to have, 6-7 laps faster tires than him.
He's not pitting.
You're probably wondering why I didn't go on mediums again. It's because I went for the softer tire allocation, so that means I had only 1 pair of medium and 1 pair of hards. So I vouched to go for the hards, and as we pretty much come out of the safety car, exiting the pit lane, we do get overtaken by the guy in 3rd place. But he is going to be on old mediums, and you can just see there that my teammate is in the pits. So, yeah, as we pretty much approach the safety car queue, I don't really know why I'm pushing. It's safety car period, so I don't know why there wasn't a delta, but yeah. So as we approach here, you can see that it says we're falling too far back, but we're not even close to the car ahead. So I just had to push now, because if I don't know what happens if you're too far back. I don't know if it ghosts you or if it disqualifies you. So we just come up on the back of the safety car queue now, and we see the car passing the safety car because it's a lap vehicle. And then the guy that was ahead of me, Groski, he actually decided to pit. I don't know for what tires. So as we're waiting for the safety car to come in again, I'm going to stay on board for these next few laps as we try to overtake the guy ahead of me, our race rival, Limited MTQ. So pretty much just waiting for the safety car to restart. And I'm trying to stay behind him and keep my tires warm at the same time. But I'm trying to get ready for the... So he goes for the jump, and I'm pretty much on him. But as I approach the safety car line, the game just completely stops me. I couldn't do anything about it. So he gets pretty much a good start, and I'm just pushing so hard to catch up behind him. He's weaving on the straight, pretty much letting me know, like, hey, don't overtake me here. So as I try and push, we're gonna stay on board for these next couple of laps, and as I try to overtake him, it's pretty much super hard without DRS, because DRS in this game is so powerful. So we're pretty much on him, and we're gonna have a good battle here. And as we approach turn 5, I think this is, yeah, turn 5, and then to turn 6, we just brake super hard, and you can see how much I'm pushing the engine. You can see how much I'm using overtake, and I'm not even worried about my fuel. So as I go into lead now, you could see that we have so much extra fuel, and we're just pushing so hard. I was thinking about getting him into the chicane. He goes defensive somewhat, and he goes into the grass. So I think as long as I get a good exit off of the chicane, I should be fine. But I don't get a good exit, and now I'm just attempting to catch up behind him. And I want to overtake him as soon as possible, so I get out of the dirty air of him, and also keep the guys behind from trying to overtake us. So as we go towards the end of the lap again, we go into 5th gear, and then down into 2nd. He's just pushing so hard, and he knows that I have the fresher tires, so he can't do anything about it but keep me behind. And it's gonna be pretty much, it's set to be a 10-12 lap battle until the end of the race for tires. So we're just coming up behind him again, and at this point I wasn't really thinking overtake him. I was just thinking, just be close enough to overtake him when DRS is enabled, because DRS just gives me that much more of an advantage, and we're just staying behind him. And the dirty air is just so bad on this game, so it's so hard to stay behind. It's just almost losing the car there, and yeah, it's terrible. Almost losing the car, and then you can see he just pulled away again. He's about half a second ahead of us, and just pushing so hard. Pretty much can't do anything except pull up behind him and just hope to overtake him before DRS is enabled. So as we engage overtake again, I think this is the 2nd lap that the safety cars come in, and DRS does get enabled on the 3rd lap. So we're going flat out through here, and I think we're going to be almost close enough, but not exactly close enough to overtake. We're going to, hold back, put the car into lean mix, and then go into 5th again, and just, try and stay as close to him as possible. Pretty difficult, especially considering that I'm stuck in the dirty air and there is no DRS. So he did pretty well, fair play to him for keeping ahead of me. And I know again, this isn't the fastest league in the world. We're not like top tier drivers. We're all just here to have fun, and we're just it's a learning process together. Just again, one of the reasons I'm making this video is not only I can learn from it, but maybe a couple of the other guys in the league can learn from it as well. And pulling up behind him again, we're just pushing so hard, and it's pretty much a wash away. You can't do anything about it. And then going to 6th gear flat out, and we're pretty much going wide every time just from the dirty air itself. And we cut the corner, not really a corner cutting warning, because once again we're on regular rules, not on strict. And then went to 3rd. We almost go into the back, and we have to go to the left pretty much, and we compromise our exit here. And he's just pulling away, and I'm using overtake to stay in him, and I'm at 35% DRS, which isn't that good. And as we go into here, we do get the DRS, because DRS is enabled after the first 3rd lap, and he goes wide, he dips into the grass. So I see that's an overtake, and I use ERS, overtake, and rich mix, and we hit, and he just, I don't know how he stayed ahead of me even there. And I was just thinking like, oh, okay, I need to overtake this guy now. So as we go into the final straight, I go wide so I can get a better exit. And now I'm just pushing so hard, and I'm using overtake. And as we engage DRS, he's gonna go to the left to defend, but I think he just knows that I'm on the softer tires, so he's gonna try and stick behind me for the rest of the race. And yeah, this is the battle pretty much for the race win, and we're trying to pull away from him. We can see we're 6/10 away from him now, mainly because we have a DRS, and you just cut the corner again. I need to start paying attention to corner cutting because it's so bad. I need to yeah. So as we start pulling away from him into sector 1, we set on a sector 1 that's 1/10, almost 2 times slower than my fastest lap, and that's pretty good if I'm being honest. Especially, I know we had DRS and stuff, but on the hard tires, and then as we skip towards the end of the lap, you see that we pretty much pulled away from him again. And yeah, we're just pushing super hard to pull away from him. And we set a 24.5 or 24.6 almost. And we're just pulling away from him. And we're already seven seconds off the third place group. And we're just trying everything. I'm trying everything to get away from the rest of the pack, because if I do spin, I was focused on pulling away as much as I can in case something does happen. I might spin, I might run wide, and I might lose a bunch of time. And as you can see, we just cut the corner completely. And yeah, if that was straight corner cutting, I'm pretty sure that would have been a 3-second time penalty. And as we go into here, once again, another safety car has been deployed. And yeah, as you can hear what I said, it's a brainless decision. Just go onto softs and just run the rest of the race on softs. So I'm just focusing on my delta now. And I don't know who went off. I'm just checking the map now. I don't know who went off, but the pack is just so separated, and it's going to bunch up the pack. And as we go to the end of the lap, we are going to pit for softs. And I was surprised when next Mike, I was expecting him to pit to the softs. Honestly, I was expecting everyone to pit into softs, but except my teammate, obviously, because he sees that I'm in the pit lane, and if I do pit and he pits at the same time, he's definitely gonna get held. So yeah, I'm just trying to talk to my teammate, but I don't know, something happened with his mic, so I couldn't hear him at all. So now, as we wait for the safety car to come in this lap, we're just up behind our teammate, and we're gonna be pulling away instantly.
Someone spun on their safety car.
I don't know why Limited and Grovsky went on mediums, but yeah, you could just see someone has spun under their safety car, and you could hear a crash. And just looking at the map now, you could pretty much see that on the right, safety car is coming in. There's been a big gap formed, and yeah, I don't even know what happened. Everyone was complaining about it to the stewards, and we were just checking, and I don't even know. So as we wait for the safety car to come in, just getting some temperature into the tires, and I should pretty much be the fastest of the pack now, because I'm on the softs, fresh softs completely, not even used ones from qualifying. You can see C89 Senior was disqualified from the session, and I don't know what happened there, but as my teammate nicely lets me go, he knows that I'm on the faster tires and he's the one that will make me lose time. And coming out of turn 1, we're just pushing so hard to get past everyone in case, again, something does happen. And we're going to go for the overtake, but he goes deep, so I go for the switchback again. And as he goes into turn 3, I get pushed wide, and I go into the grass, and there you can see contact was pretty much inevitable. And I know I could have gone wider, and I thought initially that it wasn't my fault. I thought it wasn't my fault at first because I was pretty much pushed off the track, but you could just see his perspective here. It's pretty low quality, but it's better than nothing. So you could pretty much see he goes for the switchback, and I just completely take him out. And stewards did deem it as a racing incident. I honestly would have taken the penalty, but as he skipped towards the end of the lap, you could see that we pretty much pulled away from the rest of the field, and my teammate is nice, thankfully, holding up everyone else. And as we do set the fastest lap of the safety car restart, on the safety car restart lap, we set a 23.3, and we just pulling away. And yeah, I was just telling the chat that I'm going to go for a 5-second gap in case I do get a penalty from that. But the stewards, I can confirm that it was a racing incident. And I spoke to him after the race, and I apologized to him. I didn't normally think it was my fault. I checked the video footage after, and I realized it was completely my fault. So I apologized to him. Thankfully, he didn't get any wing damage from that as well. So that was great to hear. And I don't even know what happened anymore. So as we're pulling away from the rest of the field, it could be an Alfa Romeo 1-2, almost like last time in esports for official esports in F1. It could be an Alfa Romeo 1-2 for the first race of the season.
I will look back at it.
Yeah, he's on old hards. I think 10 lap safety cars. If you just hear there that I am saying that it wasn't my fault. And we're setting double purple sector, and as we go into here, into third, we do set a double purple sector, and that's mainly because
Come on, Nathan, hold the podium.
of the soft tires. And yeah, I have pretty much no ERS, and I think that's going to be the fastest lap of the session, only because I used all my ERS on that lap, and that was pretty much my fastest lap. And as we come to lap 27, end of lap 27 I should say, we just set double reds again, only because I was pushing so hard on the soft tires. And setting the 23.6, which was pretty good, 1.4 off, but not, yeah, I was just pushing, and again, on the penultimate lap, we're just locking up, and we have so much extra fuel saved up from the safety cars that we're just using it all, and the ERS is just depleting. I don't even know why I'm using it. And as we come on to the last lap, yeah, we're just looking, right now on this lap, I was just looking at the top left corner, seeing if we could keep a double podium maybe, or maybe 1-2 again, or 1-3. But if we go to the end of the lap, it's the final race, final pit straight. You can see he's just gone, and as I weave, I'm really happy with my performance. Yeah, and I was really happy, but you know, I knew I could have done better. But yeah, this is once again, this is my fastest track on the race, fastest track on the game, no doubt. I pretty much spend all my time on this track, and you can just hear my celebrations there. Yeah, and looking at the standings, you can see that Option and Stidbean were swapped around for a 5-second time penalty, and I can't confirm that Option does finish in 6th place because of safety car crashes under the safety car, and as Option as the driver of the day, and he fully deserves that, starting in 14th or so and finishing in 6th, getting 8 points. I think it is 8 points is really good from him. And just just podium celebration. So this is gonna be the end of the video, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And next week, tune in live for Bahrain, and I will make a video off of that. I'll see you all later. Peace.